In software design, friction isn't always the enemy. Sometimes it's the only thing standing between a user and catastrophic data loss. Be me, 42 years old, VP of product at cloud storage company in Seattle. Company is called Cirrus. We're like Dropbox for creative professionals. Photographers, designers, videographers store their life's work with us. Series C funded, $40 million in the bank, 200,000 active users, making $280,000 base, plus equity that's actually worth something. Been here since employee 15, survived the early startup chaos. Now we're scaling fast, hiring aggressively, disrupting the market. About to make the worst hiring decision of my career. Bring in a UX designer who thinks safety features are oppression. Watch her remove every confirmation dialog in our product. Then watch 50,000 users accidentally delete their entire accounts in a single morning because there was no "Are you sure?" button. Data gone forever, unrecoverable, encryption keys destroyed. Company facing $85 million lawsuit, bankruptcy, complete shutdown. All because I thought friction was the enemy. Let me show you how ideology destroyed a $200 million company. March 2024, we need a new lead UX designer. Our product works great, but looks like it was designed by engineers. Because it was our CTO built the first version in his garage. Functional but ugly, very 2015 aesthetic. Users complain about it. Board wants us to modernize, compete with newer products. I'm running the interview process for lead UX designer role. Candidate walks in, woman named Maya, 36 years old. Incredible portfolio, worked at fashion tech startup, designed award-winning apps. Her work is beautiful, minimalist, very Apple-inspired aesthetic. Interview goes great. She's talking about empathetic design, removing hostile architecture from digital spaces, creating flow states instead of interrupting user journeys. I'm impressed. This is exactly the vision we need. Bring her back for technical round with my backend lead. Guy named Richard, 48, been in tech for 25 years. Built our entire data architecture, knows every database table. He's cautious, methodical, wears conference t-shirts, very engineer. Richard asks Maya about error handling and edge cases. How do you design for irreversible actions like data deletion? Maya responds, I design to prevent errors through intuitive interface. Users shouldn't need warnings if the design is clear, but some actions can't be undone, like deleting encrypted data. Then we trust the user's intent. We don't treat them like children. Richard gives me a look, the concerned engineer look. After interview, he pulls me aside. She doesn't understand data permanence. This is concerning. She's a designer, not a database engineer. That's fine. But she's designing interfaces for irreversible data operations. We need someone who understands user experience and flow. We need someone who understands that some actions need friction. I dismiss his concern. You're being too technical, Richard. She understands people. That's what matters in UX design. People make mistakes, especially with one-click operations. That's why we have confirmation dialogues, to prevent mistakes. I'm getting frustrated. That's old thinking. We need to evolve. Hire Maya, $165,000 salary, full autonomy over user experience. Richard isn't happy, but he accepts it. We move forward. April 2024, Maya starts. First month is onboarding and research. She's studying our product, interviewing users, analyzing workflows. Present her findings in all-hands meeting. I've completed a comprehensive friction audit of our product. I've identified 40 points where we're interrupting user flow. These interruptions damage trust and create learned helplessness. She's got slides, data, heat maps, very professional presentation. Biggest issue according to her, our account deletion flow. Currently, deleting your account requires multiple steps. Step 1, click Delete Account in Settings. Step 2, warning dialog appears explaining data is permanently lost. Step 3, Must type delete my account to confirm. Step 4. Final confirmation button. Red, scary looking. Maya calls this aggressive, patriarchal gatekeeping. This design assumes users are incompetent. It creates anxiety and second-guessing. Modern users want agency. They want to be trusted. She proposes new design, one-click account deletion. Single trash icon next to account settings. Click it, done. No dialogue, no typing, no confirmation, just immediate execution. She calls it radically empathetic design. We trust users to know what they want. If they click delete, they mean it. We respect that. I'm nodding. This sounds progressive and user-friendly. Richard raises his hand from back of the room. Maya, I need to explain our back-end architecture. When a user deletes their account, we don't just mark it inactive. We permanently destroy the encryption keys per our privacy policy. Once those keys are gone, the data is unrecoverable. That's why we have the friction. It's a safety feature. Maya responds, that's exactly the problem, Richard. You're designing from a place of fear instead of trust. Fear-based design creates hostile user experiences. We need to empower users, not infantilize them. Richard tries again. I'm not infantilizing anyone. I'm preventing catastrophic mistakes that can't be undone. The encryption architecture makes deletion permanent. There's no undo, no recovery, no backup that preserves the keys. Maya is getting defensive. Are you saying users are too careless? Are you saying we need to protect them from themselves? That's paternalistic thinking. That's exactly what I'm trying to fix. I step in. Richard, I appreciate the technical context, but Maya is our UX lead. She knows user psychology. Let's trust her expertise like we trust yours. Richard sits down, clearly unhappy, but doesn't push further. After meeting, Richard emails me privately. I formally object to removing deletion confirmations. The current flow exists because deletion is architecturally permanent. Removing safeguards will lead to accidental data loss. I'm documenting this objection for the record. I reply, noted, but we're moving forward with Maya's vision. We need to modernize our UX to compete in the market. Forward is email to HR, possible culture fit issue, resistant to change. May 2024, Maya redesigns the entire product. New version looks incredible, clean, minimalist, very 2024 aesthetic. All the confirmation dialogues are gone, not just deletion. Archive project, one click, no confirmation. Transfer ownership, one click, no confirmation. Delete account, one click, no confirmation. Everything is smooth, fast, frictionless, beautiful. Maya is proud. This is what empowered user experience looks like. Richard reviews the code changes, comes to my office. The new delete button is positioned right next to the edit button. On smaller screens, they're only 8 pixels apart. A misclick will trigger permanent deletion with no warning. That's by design. Users won't misclick if the interface is intuitive. Users absolutely will misclick. That's basic human behavior. Richard, you're catastrophizing. We'll monitor and adjust if needed. He shakes his head, walks out. I hear him mutter something. Can't make it out, but I'm sure it's not complimentary. June 2024. We push the new design to production. Tuesday morning, rollout goes live to all 200,000 users. Initial feedback is great. Users love the clean new interface. So much faster. Finally feels modern. Love the simplicity. Maya and I are celebrating, high-fiving in the office. This is exactly what we needed, validation of the vision. Wednesday morning, still smooth, a few minor bug reports. Normal for a major release, nothing concerning. Support team handling standard questions about new layout. Thursday, 9:47 a.m. Pacific Time, everything changes. Popular photography influencer is doing live tutorial on Instagram. She's showing her workflow, organizing her portfolio in our app. 250,000 people watching live. She's demonstrating features. She goes to edit a project folder, reaches for the edit button. Her mouse is slightly off. She clicks 8 pixels to the right. Hits the delete button instead of edit. Account vanishes instantly, live on stream. No, are you sure? No warning, no confirmation. Just gone. 6 years of professional photography work. She screams on camera. What just happened? Where did everything go? Tries to log back in. Account doesn't exist anymore. 250,000 viewers just watch her lose her life's work. Comments explode. Is that a bug? Did she just delete everything? Wait, there's no undo. Some viewers go check their own accounts, worried it's a glitch. They click around trying to understand the new interface. Several accidentally trigger their own deletions while exploring. Support ticket queue goes from 50 to 515 minutes. 10:05 a.m. I'm in a meeting when my phone starts vibrating. Text from support lead. Emergency, deletion issue. Need you now. Walk into support area. It's chaos. Everyone on phones. Support lead shows me the queue. 2,000 tickets and climbing. All variations of I accidentally deleted my account. How do I restore it? All my work is gone. This has to be a bug. Where's the undo button? Check the analytics dashboard. Account deletions are spiking. Normal day, 5 to 10 account deletions. Right now, 300 deletions in the last hour and still accelerating. Call emergency meeting. Get Maya and Richard in a conference room. We have a crisis. Hundreds of users are accidentally deleting accounts. Maya looks confused. How is that possible? The interface is intuitive. People are misclicking. The buttons are too close together. Richard doesn't say, I told you so, but his face says it. Can we restore the accounts? Pull from backup? Richard shakes his head. That's what I tried to explain. Account deletion triggers encryption, key destruction. It's part of our privacy architecture, GDPR compliance. Once the keys are destroyed, the data is permanently unrecoverable. No backup can restore it because the backups are encrypted with those keys. Maya is pale now, but they click delete. They meant to delete. They meant to click edit. They missed by 8 pixels. Well, that's user error. That's not a design flaw. It's exactly a design flaw. That's why we had confirmations. Richard pulls up the code. You positioned a nuclear button next to a routine button. With no safety catch, no confirmation, no chance to reconsider. This is like putting a self-destruct button next to the light switch. 11:30 a.m. Ticket queue is at 5,000 and we're getting press inquiries. Tech blogs are covering it. Cloud storage app allows accidental data deletion. Twitter is exploding with users warning each other. Don't use Cirrus. No undo on account deletion. By 2 p.m., we have 50,000 support tickets. Actual number of deleted accounts, 50,000 users. 50,000 people who lost everything because there was no "Are you sure?" CEO calls emergency board meeting. I have to present what happened. We redesigned the UX to reduce friction and improve user experience. The new design removed confirmation dialogues to create flow. This resulted in widespread accidental deletions that are unrecoverable. Board member, former CTO of major tech company, asked the question, who approved removing deletion confirmations for permanent operations? I did, based on recommendation from our lead UX designer. Did your backend engineers raise concerns about this change? Have to be honest, yes, our backend lead formally objected, and you overrode those objections. Yes, I believe the UX perspective should take priority. Board member is furious. You prioritized aesthetics over data safety. You ignored engineers who understood the architecture. And now 50,000 users have lost potentially years of work. With all due respect, we were trying to modernize the user experience. User experience doesn't matter if the user loses all their data. Meeting ends badly. Board demands immediate rollback. But rollback doesn't restore 50,000 deleted accounts. That data is gone forever, unrecoverable, permanent. Friday morning, law firms start calling. Class action lawsuit is being organized. 50,000 users claiming negligent design, breach of contract, data loss. Our terms of service promised encrypted storage with user controls. But removing safety controls without notification violated that promise. Legal team reviews the case, gives us the assessment. This is gross negligence. Insurance won't cover it. The engineer's documented objection proves you knew the risk. You proceeded anyway. That's willful disregard for user safety. Estimated damages: $85 million across all affected users. Company has $40 million in the bank. We can't pay this. Major clients are canceling contracts. PR is catastrophic. Company that deletes your data with one misclick. June 2025, 1 year later, company files bankruptcy. Cannot survive the lawsuit, the PR damage, the user exodus. Board votes to shut down operations and liquidate assets. All employees laid off. Investors lose everything. Maya and I are both terminated for gross negligence. Board specifically cites ignoring engineering safety concerns. Maya posts on LinkedIn about being fired by toxic tech culture. I was punished for trusting users and respecting their agency. Get some support from UX community, but mostly backlash. Comments are brutal. You deleted 50,000 people's life work. Safety features aren't oppression, they're protection. She's now unemployable in UX design. Word spread fast. No company will hire the designer who caused the Cirrus disaster. Last I heard, she's working in retail. $38,000, career destroyed. Richard, the backend engineer who warned us, is fine. Hired as CTO at competitor within days of our shutdown. His LinkedIn message to me: I wish you'd listened. Don't respond. What can I say? He was completely right. Me, I'm working as product manager at mid-sized company, making $95,000, less than a third of my VP salary. Nobody wants a VP who ignored engineering and destroyed a company. Every interview: can you explain what happened at Cirrus? Try to explain the vision, the user experience philosophy. They look at me like I'm dangerous. So you ignored your engineers. Well, I prioritized UX perspective over back-end concerns. And 50,000 users lost everything. Yes, that was the unfortunate outcome. Don't get callbacks. My reputation is destroyed. Now it's December 2025, 18 months after the disaster. See article in TechCrunch, The Cirrus Catastrophe, a case study. It's being taught in HCI courses as example of negligent design. What happens when designers ignore technical constraints? My name is in the article. Maya's name is in the article. Richard's name is in the article as the engineer who tried to stop us. We're a cautionary tale, a warning to future product leaders. See Richard at Tech Conference. He's speaking on a panel. Building Safe Systems. Why engineers and designers must collaborate. Uses Cirrus as his primary example. I documented my concerns in writing. They proceeded anyway. 50,000 users paid the price for leadership ignoring engineering reality. Audience is taking notes, treating this as critical lesson. I'm in the back row, hoping he doesn't see me. He sees me, makes eye contact, nods slightly. Not hostile, not friendly, just acknowledgement. After panel, I approach him. Richard, I need to say something. I was wrong. You were right. I should have listened. I know, everyone knows now. I destroyed your company, people's work, my own career. You destroyed trust. That's worse than destroying a company. He's right. That's the real damage. 50,000 people trusted us with their life's work. And we deleted it because we thought confirmations were ugly. Because Maya thought friction was oppression. And I thought she was visionary instead of dangerous. Why didn't you listen when I warned you? I thought you were being resistant to change, stuck in old thinking. I was being protective of user data. That's my job. I understand that now. 18 months too late. He sighs. The architecture was more complex than you understood. And I didn't make you understand it. That's on me too. I tried to explain about encryption keys and permanence. But I didn't make it visceral enough. Didn't paint the picture. If I had said this will destroy 50,000 people's lives, instead of this violates architectural constraints, maybe you would have heard me differently. That's generous of him, taking any responsibility. But we both know the failure was mine, not his. Walk away from that conference thinking about friction, about how Maya called it hostile architecture, about how I thought she was enlightened for wanting to remove it. But friction isn't hostility, friction is protection. A seatbelt creates friction, that's the point. A door lock creates friction, that's the point. Are you sure you want to delete everything? Dialogue creates friction. That's exactly the point, to make you pause, to make you think, to give you one last chance to catch your mistake, before it becomes permanent, before it's too late. We removed that chance because we thought it was oppressive. We called it empowerment when it was actually abandonment. Empowerment is giving users control, but control includes the ability to stop themselves. We took that away. We made deletion instant and irreversible. And 50,000 people who made a simple mouse movement error lost everything they'd stored with us for years. Now I'm 44, working product manager job for $95,000. Will probably never get another VP role, too much liability. The person who hires me takes on my history, my judgment, my failure. Most companies won't take that risk. Can't blame them. Maya is 38, working retail, blacklisted from design. Her beautiful portfolio doesn't matter anymore. She's the designer who deleted 50,000 accounts. That's her permanent identity in the industry. Richard is 50, CTO, respected voice in safe systems design. Gives talks, publishes papers, teaches others to avoid our mistakes. He's the engineer who tried to stop the disaster. That's his permanent identity, the vindicated voice of reason. 3 different outcomes from one decision. To remove friction, to trust users without safeguards, to respect intent without confirming intent. We thought we were modernizing user experience. We were actually weaponizing user interface. Creating a system where one pixel of mouse error meant total, permanent, irreversible loss. That's not empowerment. That's negligence. That's what the lawsuit called it. That's what it was. And now, every time I use any software, every time I see a confirmation dialog, are you sure you want to delete this? I don't feel annoyed anymore. I feel grateful. Because someone, somewhere, some engineer, fought to keep that friction in place. Fought against designers who thought it was ugly. Fought against product managers who thought it was old-fashioned. And won that fight and saved users from themselves. That's the lesson I teach now when anyone asks,